There he is, Danny Parkins from Fox Sports 1's First Things First. Danny, you were there front and center. I loved it. I've seen the pictures on social media. First row, right behind the Bears bench. You survived Saturday night. Honestly, now, I want you to give me some feeling here. You're a Chicago kid. Forget about sporting events. Where did that moment rank in your life?
Oh man, rank in my life. Listen, I like to think that I have some decent perspective, and the wedding, the bachelor party, the birth of the kids, maybe a few moments above that, but not many, man. It was listen, if you want me to be sentimental, why am I taking a picture with that Packers fan? That is my nephew Jack, my brother Brad, who passed away from brain cancer, who I raised a bunch of money for in his honor. Was raised in Wisconsin. His older brother. My dad was from Wisconsin, so they're all cheeseheads. And so being able to go to that game with my nephew and be in those seats and then be able to bring some friends too was it was pretty special, because I know Brad would have been there if he could. I know my dad would have been there if he could. So it was a pretty special thing. And then the football game happened, which really put it over the top.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that story. And that's why I asked you, because I knew that it was more than just a football game for you. I know, the charity that you're behind. So it was a special moment to be there and watch the Bears and Packers. And you came dressed for the occasion. You warned us last Monday. You'll be noticed in the first row. You were. Who helped you put that outfit together?
Yeah, so the lovely people out here at FS1 bought me the Bears robe, the very plush robe. I was like, man, this thing is warmer than a jacket. So I was like, I don't even need a jacket. And then, I had a Bears hoodie, obviously, had a Bears winter hat, obviously, but we've been looking for weeks. We couldn't get a cheese grater. Like, they kept selling out on the cheese grater hat. They kept selling out online. And so I was very concerned that I wasn't going to be able to get the cheese grater. I felt like it was the thing I needed to bring the outfit over the top. And thankfully, I was at a great tailgate with our friends at CHGO beforehand, and there were some vendors out there just like selling items on the street. And the guy had like 2 cheese graters left, and he was like $50. I'm like, it's a piece of styrofoam, right? And he was like, yeah, you know about supply and demand, right? I was like, yeah, good point. And I gave him a 50 and peeled it off. And so I got the cheese grater day of the game from a guy at Wabash and Cermak. That was the final touch that I needed.
Buddy, I just saw a news story. The back order's 10,000 strong right now.
Yeah.
So for $50, you got a deal.
Listen, I felt the same way. I just wanted it known that, like, the markup, he probably could have sold it for $150, So yeah. I felt pretty good about my purchase in that spot.
All right, let me get to the game. Bears down 21-3 at the break. Running game has given us less than 3 yards a pop at that point. Jordan Love's already thrown 3 touchdown passes. Where's your mind? I mean, how close are you to giving up?
So, not as close as I expected to be. And I know in one of those videos I said this is a disaster. Right. Because it was. Like Ben Johnson felt like he needed to go for it on 4th down inside his own 35-yard line in the second quarter. Like, that's a disaster. And I didn't hate the call, because I thought that the Bears defense looked so bad and was getting carved up so much that it felt like they were going to need 40-something points to win. Now, obviously, how the Bears defense bowed up in the second half kind of made that original decision age poorly, but you didn't know that at the time. But I thought when McManus missed the kick at the end of the second quarter going into halftime, like, a lot of our conversation at half was, and let's see if Caleb can work his magic. Like, we had that conversation. So it was down. I'm a gambler, so we were checking the odds. We're like, all right, we can get 7-1 on the Bears right now for them to win the game. So we were talking about that. Like, so everything was through the prism of, can the Bears come back because of what they had done over the course of the season.
All right, then who gets credit in your mind for the second half turnaround? Is it Caleb? Is it the defense? Is it the Packers, their ability to lose the composure that they had?
This is not like the hot take, like, condensed answer, but it's a combination of everything, right? Like, Dennis Allen and his defense made great second half adjustments. They only allowed 6 points in the second half. Ben Johnson and what he told the team at halftime, calling back to having Grady Jarrett and Joe Thuney talking in preseason about the 28-3 Super Bowl comeback that they were on either side of in the Patriots-Falcons game, like clearly resonated with the guys. Caleb Williams made unbelievable. I mean, the throw to Roma Odunze that everyone's talking about, we forget that throw to history if the Bears don't do everything they did after it, with the touchdown to Zacchaeus and the 2-point conversion to Loveland and then the game winner to DJ Moore. And so then people are like, well, it's, I was talking with Cowherd earlier today, name drop, and he was like, it feels like, Ben Johnson is a first half guy and Caleb Williams is a second half guy, like scheme early, artiste late. And I was like, I don't know. That touchdown pass to DJ Moore was the perfect play call in the perfect spot that was built off of the wide receiver screen that they had done earlier in the game. So, like, that's Ben Johnson's brilliance as a play caller. So it's a cop-out of an answer, but everybody gets credit for it. You don't erase a 21-3 deficit at halftime and have the biggest comeback in your team's postseason history if you don't get contributions from a lot of different places, including McManus missing 3 kicks, 2 field goals and an extra point. Matt LaFleur, I thought, was a little too aggressive in the 4-minute offense. Like, throwing the ball is fine. Throwing the ball 25 yards down the field is a little crazy. Getting a delay of game out of a timeout before that last miss by McManus, taking a 39-yarder and making it a 44-yarder. Like, it was a confluence of events that led to the comeback.
Hey, man, if you're an opponent, be careful, because the Bears, no matter how poorly they've played, they never feel like they're out of a game.
Right, and it's two sides of that coin. Like, it's a little frustrating that they can't start hotter. Like, you don't want to rely on it, because at some point you'll say, well, okay, that's what cost them. But I'm going to say this, like, now no matter what happens, not that it's house money, not that I don't think they can make the Super Bowl, not that I don't want them to win the Super Bowl. Now, no matter what happens, the team that had the most successful year in the NFL is the team that wins the Super Bowl. But the second most successful season in the NFL is the Chicago Bears. Like, found your coach, found your quarterback, exercised the demons against the Packers, validated it all by winning that game. Moment we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Like, this has been the most enjoyable Bears season outside of a Super Bowl trip in my lifetime.
Yeah, I'm with you. Clearly, these two teams dislike each other. Don't know if you heard Ben Johnson earlier today. I did. Very vocal about his hatred towards the Packers in his locker room speech, and today he didn't take it back.
People have talked about, like, between you and LaFleur, the 2 wins things, the handshakes. Beyond, getting this important playoff win, why is this important to you, or is there something personal beyond that?
This is a rivalry, and city of Chicago, Green Bay, it needs to be a rivalry. It's a big game, first playoff game at home in a while, and, we hadn't won a playoff game in 15 years or so. But certainly the opponent in and of itself, it means a lot to the city, this organization. And that's something that we certainly play into a little bit as coaches and players. Is we know how big it is when Chicago plays Green Bay. There's a rivalry that exists between these two teams, something that I fully recognize and I'm a part of. And I don't like that team. So George and I have talked, and we're on the same page.
I love that he's talked to George McCaskey about the language he used. Bears football, Danny, is so much better when the Bears can walk the talk, stick their chest out about winning 3 of the last 4 meetings with the Packers, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Like, sports are better with rivalries. Obviously, like, less hate in the world, more hate in sports. It's a good thing. And I also, and I'm not going to say something that, you fully understand and your viewers fully understand, but I will say it anyway. This is a different type of rivalry. It's not New York and Boston where the fans are all just cursing at each other and fighting all the time. The chance that Bears fans will break out into is Green Bay sucks. it's not F the Packers, like because we're like Midwest nice. So it's kind of nice that the Bears coach took it to that level and like had to get permission from George McCaskey to curse because we know how George feels about cursing. And like these teams, the McCaskey family are descendants of George Halas. It's a family business. The Packers are owned by the fans. Like, these are not traditional billionaires. These aren't tech people. These aren't market people. Like my dad's family are all cheeseheads. Like, these are our neighbors. We are in each other's weddings. We work with them. Like, it's a different type of like familial rivalry, proximity rivalry, historical rivalry. So like, the idea that they're both good at the same time with some genuine sports hatred for each other, not real hatred, sports hatred. Like, it's a good thing. It's what sports are supposed to be. Is Ben Johnson pandering a bit to his boss? Yes, but at least he's backing it up on the field. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. What great theater. All right, why are the Bears going to beat the Rams?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's in Chicago. And it's a cold weather team coming to single digit temperatures. So that's always in favor of the team that plays in it, practices it, all of that stuff. So that's massive. And then the Rams defense, since about week 11, last 8 weeks or so, not good. Giving up 28 a game. Just gave up 31 to Carolina. Lost to Carolina the previous time. Like, Matt Stafford might throw for 6,000 yards against the Bears. Like, he's awesome. And McVay's awesome, and Puka's awesome, and Devontae's awesome, and the Rams offense, they're going to put a number on the board. I believe that. Maybe a couple of turnovers, maybe the weather slows them down a little bit. You got to be able to run the ball better against the Rams than you did against the Packers. Like, I'm fully confident of that. But the Bears offense should score. So this is another game that it's going to take 30 to win, Ben Johnson and Caleb are going to have to show up on the lakefront on Sunday night.
Are you coming?
I'm not coming.
Oh.
No, my son turned 6 on Saturday. I'll be honest, between you and me, I don't love going to NFL games. Like, it's better on my TV. But that game Saturday against Green Bay was like a religious experience. I was saying to everybody, I would have rather attended Bears-Packers than attend a Bears NFC Championship game. Like to me, that game was not a sporting event.
No.
Like it was an event, you know. And so like we'll talk for the NFC Championship game. I'll see if I can make it work, but probably not. Super Bowl obviously is a different animal, but like I was drawn to go to that game. This game I'm happy to watch from the comforts of my basement.
It was a religious experience. And before I let you go, tell me, where are we on the Parkins Super Bowl-O-Meter?
Man, well, let's say 25% would be each of the next 2 games are coin flips. They're an underdog in this game. They'd be an underdog in the NFC Championship game at Seattle, which suggests they should be lower than 25%. But I'm telling you, man, Pope Leo, he's Pope Bob from the South Side. The Blues Brothers were on a mission from God. So it's got to be more than 25%. That seemed like some sort of divine intervention with what happened in the fourth quarter of that game against the Packers. So I don't know. I'll say 33%. Bears go to the Super Bowl.
I'll take it. I went to church yesterday, and I said a prayer myself after what I saw on Saturday. Danny, as always, man, thanks for the time. Glad you made it back safely to New York, and you experienced one of Chicago's greatest sporting events. And happy birthday to your son.
Oh, thank you so much, Lou. I appreciate you, buddy. And we'll talk next week. Bear down.